Does your brain feel like a hamster wheel, constantly spinning with worries and what-ifs? You're not alone, and today we're gonna shut that wheel down. For years, I was trapped in my own head, replaying conversations, predicting disasters, and dissecting every little decision. It was exhausting. My overthinking wasn't just annoying, it was a roadblock, stopping me from enjoying the present, taking chances, and truly living. This mental clutter affected my sleep, my relationships, and even my work. I felt like I was constantly preparing for a storm that never came, completely missing the sunny days right in front of me. I bet you felt something similar, that nagging feeling that you're missing out because your mind is too busy. But what if I told you there are simple, powerful ways to reclaim your mental peace and silence that inner critic? Today, we're diving into 7 practical tricks that actually work to stop overthinking, not just for a moment, but for good. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to a quieter, calmer mind, ready to tackle life with confidence and clarity. Understanding the overthinking trap. So, what exactly is overthinking? It's that endless loop of thoughts, worries, and analyses that keeps your mind churning, often without any real resolution. It's not just thinking deeply about a problem, it's getting stuck in the cycle, dissecting every angle, imagining every possible negative outcome, and constantly second-guessing yourself. Think of it like this. Your brain is a supercomputer, and sometimes it gets stuck running too many programs at once, all of them consuming energy and slowing everything down. Why do we overthink? Well, often it stems from a desire for control and certainty. We want to predict the future, avoid mistakes, and make the perfect decision. It's a natural human tendency to seek safety and minimize risk. However, in our modern world, with endless choices and constant information, this natural tendency can become exaggerated. Social media, for example, can make us compare ourselves endlessly, feeding into self-doubt and overanalysis. We see highlight reels and start overthinking our own lives in comparison. Another big reason is past experiences. If you've been burnt before, or if you face difficult situations, your brain might go into overdrive trying to prevent a repeat. It's trying to protect you, but sometimes its protection mechanisms become overkill, creating more anxiety than they prevent.
The impact of overthinking is huge. It drains your energy, leaving you feeling constantly tired. It steals your joy, making it hard to appreciate the good moments because you're always anticipating the bad. It paralyzes you, making decision-making incredibly difficult and often leading to inaction. Imagine standing at a crossroads, needing to pick a path, but instead of choosing, you spend hours analyzing the dirt, the shadows, the potential wind patterns until you're too exhausted to move. That's overthinking in action. Studies have shown a strong link between overthinking and mental health issues like anxiety and depression. A 2013 study published in the Journal of Abnormal Psychology found that rumination, a key component of overthinking, can predict the onset and duration of depressive episodes. It's a vicious cycle. Overthinking fuels anxiety, and anxiety fuels more overthinking. It can even impact your physical health, leading to stress-related symptoms like headaches, digestive issues, and sleep problems. When your mind is constantly racing, your body stays in a heightened state of alert, which is simply not sustainable. I remember a time when I had to choose between 2 job offers. Both were good, but I spent weeks, literally weeks, going over every single pro and con, making spreadsheets, talking to everyone I knew, and still I couldn't decide. I lost sleep, my appetite was off, and I was constantly irritable. I was so caught up in making the perfect choice that I almost missed the deadlines for both offers. The truth is, sometimes there isn't a perfect choice, just a choice that moves you forward. My overthinking didn't lead to a better decision. It just led to a lot of unnecessary stress. It was a wake-up call that I needed to change how I approached decision-making and problem-solving.
Trick 1. The 5-minute rule. This trick is all about setting boundaries for your thoughts. When you feel yourself spiraling into an overthinking session, tell yourself, I'm going to worry about this for exactly 5 minutes, and then I'm moving on. Set a timer. During those 5 minutes, let your mind go wild. Write down every single worry, every possible scenario, every fear. Get it all out. But here's the crucial part. When the timer goes off, you must stop. This isn't about suppressing your thoughts. It's about acknowledging them and then consciously deciding to shift your focus. It's like giving your brain a designated worry time so it doesn't try to take over the rest of your day. The beauty of this technique is that often, once you've given those worries their dedicated time, they lose some of their power. They've been heard, so they don't feel the need to shout so loud anymore. I first learned about this from a friend who struggled with extreme anxiety before presentations. She would get stuck in her head for days, going over every possible mistake. I suggested the 5-minute rule, and she started using it. She'd set her timer, jot down every fear, from forgetting her words to her laptop crashing, and then, when the timer buzzed, she'd literally put the pen down and walk away. She told me it felt like she was giving her brain permission to express its fears, but also showing it who was boss. After a few tries, she found the intensity of her worries significantly decreased. She still had nerves, of course, but the paralyzing overthinking was gone. Trick 2. Embrace imperfection. Many overthinkers are perfectionists at heart. We strive for flawlessness in everything we do, which often leads to endless tweaking, analyzing, and ultimately procrastination. The truth is, perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist, and chasing it is a surefire way to stay stuck. Embracing imperfection means understanding that good enough is often truly good enough. It means recognizing that making a decision or taking action, even if it's not absolutely perfect, is far better than doing nothing at all. Think about it. A completed project that's 90% perfect is infinitely more valuable than a 100% perfect project that never leaves your mind. This trick is about shifting your mindset from "how can I make this perfect" to "how can I make this progress?" It's about letting go of the need for absolute certainty and accepting that some level of risk and uncertainty is a natural part of life. A study published in Personality and Social Psychology Review highlighted how perfectionism is a risk factor for various mental health issues, including anxiety and depression. It's a heavy burden to carry, constantly aiming for an impossible standard. For me, this was a huge hurdle. I used to spend hours on emails, rereading them and editing them multiple times, convinced there was a better way to phrase something. The time I wasted was ridiculous. Now, I try to follow the send it and forget it rule, especially for minor communications. Unless it's a critical document, I do a quick check, make sure it's clear, and hit send. The world has not ended because one of my emails wasn't a literary masterpiece. Embracing imperfection gave me back hours of my life and significantly reduced my mental load. It frees up energy to focus on what truly matters. Trick 3. Get moving. When your mind is racing, one of the best ways to hit the reset button is to get your body moving. Physical activity is an incredible stress reliever and a powerful antidote to overthinking. It's not just about burning calories, it's about shifting your focus from your internal mental chatter to your external physical experience. Whether it's a brisk walk, a run, yoga, dancing, or even just stretching, movement helps release endorphins, those feel-good chemicals in your brain, and reduces the levels of stress hormones like cortisol. It also provides a healthy distraction, pulling your attention away from those repetitive thoughts and grounding you in the present moment. It's hard to overthink your past mistakes when you're focusing on your breathing during a sprint or trying to balance in a yoga pose. I discovered this trick almost by accident. I was in the middle of a major overthinking spiral about a work project, feeling completely stuck. I decided to take my dog for a walk just to clear my head. As we walked through the park, paying attention to the trees, the sounds, the feeling of the sun, I noticed my mind slowly quiet down. By the time I got back, the problem I had been dissecting endlessly seemed much clearer, and the emotional weight I'd been carrying had lifted. It was like the physical movement helped untangle the mental knots.
Even short bursts of activity can make a difference. If you're stuck at your desk, take a 5-minute break to do some jumping jacks or walk up and down a flight of stairs. You'll be amazed at how a change in physical state can lead to a change in mental state.
Trick 4. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a buzzword these days, but it's incredibly powerful for overthinking. It's essentially the practice of being fully present and aware of the current moment without judgment. When you overthink, you're either replaying the past or rehearsing the future. Mindfulness brings you back to the now. It's not about emptying your mind of thoughts. That's nearly impossible. Instead, it's about observing your thoughts without getting caught up in them. Imagine your thoughts are clouds passing by in the sky. You notice them, but you don't jump on one and go for a ride. You simply watch them drift. Simple mindfulness exercises can be done anywhere. You can focus on your breath, feeling the air enter and leave your body. You can do a body scan, noticing sensations in different parts of your body. Or you can engage your senses by consciously noticing 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can feel, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This technique forces your brain to shift its attention from internal monologue to external reality. One morning, I was completely overwhelmed by my to-do list, which quickly morphed into overthinking about all the things that could go wrong if I didn't get it all done. My mind was in a whirlwind. I decided to take 5 minutes to just focus on my morning coffee. I paid attention to the warmth of the mug, the aroma, the taste, the steam rising. It sounds trivial, but those 5 minutes created a small pocket of calm in my chaotic mind. It didn't solve my to-do list, but it helped me approach it with a much clearer, less anxious mind. Regular mindfulness practice can actually rewire your brain, strengthening the areas associated with attention and emotional regulation, making you less prone to getting stuck in overthinking loops.
Trick 5. Write it down. The brain dump. Sometimes, the sheer volume of thoughts in your head is what leads to overthinking. Your brain becomes a messy whiteboard with too many ideas, worries, and tasks scribbled all over it. The solution? Get it out of your head and onto paper. A brain dump is a simple yet incredibly effective technique. Grab a pen and paper, or open a blank document on your computer and just write down everything that's on your mind. Don't filter, don't judge, don't organize. Just let it flow. Write down your worries, your to-do list items, your ideas, your frustrations, your questions. Keep writing until you feel like you've emptied your mental bucket. This process serves several purposes. First, it externalizes your thoughts, giving them a physical form outside your head. This can make them feel less overwhelming and more manageable. Second, it can help you identify patterns in your overthinking. Are you always worrying about the same thing? Third, once it's on paper, your brain doesn't have to work so hard to remember it, freeing up valuable mental RAM. I used to carry around this invisible burden of things I need to remember and things I need to worry about. It felt like my brain was constantly juggling flaming torches. One evening, after a particularly bad overthinking day, I decided to just write everything down. I filled 3 pages with random thoughts, worries about upcoming meetings, anxieties about personal issues, ideas for new projects, grocery list items, literally everything. When I finished, I felt an immediate sense of relief. It was like a weight had been lifted. Once it was all on paper, I could then look at it, prioritize, discard, or make a plan. It allowed me to transform vague anxieties into concrete, actionable steps, or sometimes just acknowledge them and let them go. It's a powerful way to bring order to mental chaos.
Trick 6. Set clear boundaries, especially with information. In our always-on, digitally connected world, we are constantly bombarded with information. News alerts, social media feeds, emails.
It's an endless stream. While knowledge is power, too much information, especially negative or uncertain information, can be a major trigger for overthinking. We start to analyze every headline, every comment, every potential disaster, and our minds go into overdrive. Setting clear boundaries with information means being intentional about what you consume and when. This could involve designating no phone zones, times or places where your phone is put away, like during meals or before bed. Limiting news consumption. Instead of constantly checking headlines, choose specific times to catch up on news, perhaps once or twice a day. Unfollowing triggering accounts. If certain social media accounts consistently make you feel anxious or make you overthink, unfollow them. Protect your mental space. Having digital detox days. Taking a full day away from screens can be incredibly refreshing for an overactive mind. I used to wake up and immediately check my phone, news, emails, social media. Within minutes, my mind would be buzzing with external worries and comparisons, setting the stage for a day of overthinking. I started implementing a rule: no phone for the first hour after waking up. Instead, I focus on my morning routine, have a quiet breakfast, or read a physical book. This simple boundary has dramatically changed my mornings. I feel calmer, more centered, and less prone to getting caught in an early morning overthinking spiral. It's like giving your brain a chance to gently wake up before the world starts shouting at it. Setting these boundaries is an act of self-care, protecting your mental energy from constant demands and potential triggers.
Trick 7. Seek an outside perspective. When you're caught in an overthinking loop, your perspective often becomes incredibly narrow. You're too close to the problem, seeing only the worst-case scenarios and the endless complexities. It's like trying to read the label on a bottle that's pressed right against your nose. You can't get a clear view. This is where seeking an outside perspective can be incredibly valuable. Talking to a trusted friend, family member, mentor, or even a professional therapist can help you break free from your internal monologue and gain a fresh outlook. An outside perspective offers several benefits. Objective insight. Someone else can see things you're missing, point out irrational fears, or offer solutions you hadn't considered. Validation. Sometimes just articulating your worries to someone who listens can make them feel less overwhelming. Different frame of reference. They might have faced similar situations and can share their experiences or coping strategies. And reality check. A good friend or therapist can gently challenge your overthinking patterns, helping you see that your fears might be exaggerated or unrealistic.
I had a habit of overthinking every difficult conversation I needed to have. I'd rehearse it 100 times in my head, imagining every possible negative reaction. Before a particularly tough conversation with a colleague, I talked to my sister. I laid out all my fears and all the different ways I thought it could go wrong. She listened patiently and then simply said, "You're trying to control something you can't. Just be honest and kind. Whatever happens after that, you'll handle it." Her simple, direct advice cut through all my mental clutter. It wasn't about finding the perfect script, it was about approaching it with the right mindset. That conversation helped me immensely, not just for that specific situation, but in realizing the power of getting out of my own head and letting someone else offer a clearer lens. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Sometimes all it takes is a different pair of eyes to see the path forward. Conclusion. Overthinking can feel like a life sentence, a relentless mental prison. But as we've explored today, it doesn't have to be. These 7 simple tricks, the 5-minute rule, embracing imperfection, getting your body moving, practicing mindfulness, writing it down, setting clear information boundaries, and seeking an outside perspective are powerful tools you can start using today to reclaim your mental peace. Remember, stopping overthinking isn't about never thinking deeply. It's about breaking free from the loops that serve no purpose and learning to direct your mind more effectively. It's a journey, not a destination, and each small step you take will lead you closer to a calmer, clearer, and more joyful life. Your mind is a powerful tool. It's time to take back control and use it to build, not to burden. If you found these tips helpful, please subscribe to RainWish for more insights into living a calmer, happier life, and give this video a like and share it with someone who might benefit. Goodbye.